This is my first time in Bangladesh. And then in this event, since I'm going to talk AI and machine learning, but I found out something very interesting. Look at that. Not only the USA that I'm coming from, but Hong Kong is also here. This is where I'm born. So I think this is very meaningful because we are not only talking about technology, we are also helping oncology patients using technology. I think this is very important because we are not just talking about technology as a toy for people, but has some real business value for the community. So let's go. Now you see, I am here and here is my picture right here. That's me. It's a little bit different in terms of the hairstyle, but it's still the me here, Cupid. It is too bad that I only stay here for a few days. In fact, I did not even leave this hotel for a few days. And tonight, after my talk, I need to go. I need to take my flight back home. But hopefully, next time, I will have a chance to come back. And look at that. Here is my hotel. Do you want to walk in with me? I am not sure whether we can check in here, but let's try. All right, welcome to my hotel. Wow, I think it's very busy. So this city is like the moment that I land to the airport, I feel like it's very dynamic. A lot of people coming around and a lot of traffic. But really impressed me is about December. You see all the Christmas tree and Christmas time. Here, like it's very warm. Back in United States, when I am coming from, it's already below 5 degrees Celsius. So compared to here, there's nothing. I'm still wearing short. So that's a very good thing. It's a warm weather.
Did you tasted any Bangladeshi food yet?
Actually, yes. And I am impressed by the food quality, especially. I'm not sure whether it's the same outside or what, but the food in this hotel is pretty good. Yeah, as I told you, this is my very first time in Bangladesh. So when I fly my flight from a connecting flight from Riyadh to Dhaka, when I get off the flight, before I get on the flight attendants asked me a very interesting question. He asked me, hey, what are you doing in Dhaka? Is that the very first time that you visit Bangladesh? I said, yes. And then, what's for? I said, for a conference. I speak in a conference. And then he asked me, are you speaking in a fashion conference? I was like very happy because maybe it's my look and my clothing makes me like I am a model. So he asked me that question. And then I suddenly remember, one of my friends told me, Dhaka is very famous for the fashion industry. So there may be a lot of people coming in, not because they wear very like a fancy clothing or look like a model, but it's just because there are so many people in this industry. I thought it's very funny that I have that misinterpretation for this question. All right, let's go. Getting ready. afternoon. Well, this is my very first time in my whole life in Bangladesh. Can I at least have some better response? So let's try it one more time. Good afternoon. Okay, much better. So, first of all, I really want to thank you, Oncology Club, to inviting me here for the very first time. And not only inviting me, but having a very heartfelt, like a very careful pick of speaker gift for me. Thank you very much for that. But talking about speaker gift, a few years back, I spoke in Singapore in the Strata Data and AI conference. And you can actually see that I got this cartoon drawing of myself as the speaker gift. So it's okay, you know what, like it's me trying to draw the speaker, but they give me on top of that something else. Okay, so one is this thing. So I think you know what is that, right? A deck of cards. So another one, where is it? Right here. They give me something like this. Do you know what is that? Can you guess what it is? Alright. It is a pack of dice. And then I was scratching my head. I am a speaker in a data and AI conference. Why are you giving me a deck of cards and a pack of dice? What? Why is that? And then I keep thinking, oh yeah, now I know. After thinking a while, now I know. But before I reveal the answer to you, let's play a game, alright? So, I know it's towards the end of the day, you may be tired, so hopefully this game will keep you awake, okay? So now, I have a coin here, alright? So if I flip this coin, what is the probability of getting tail? Come on, you guys are professional, right? What? 2? 1/2, right? 50% of the chance you will got tail. Good job. So now, let's raise the difficult level. I use this pack of dice. And, okay, so let me pick 2 dice here, alright? And when I throw it, what's the probability to get the 2 dice with the same number of 5? I'm sorry? 1/? Yes! 1/36. Why? It's because 1/6 times 1/6, right? So now, let's raise this to another level. I guarantee you, I promise you, this is the last and final level that I'm going to test your intelligence. Real intelligence, not artificial intelligence, okay? So, I have a deck of cards here, right? So maybe, let me see, who is not looking at me, I'm going to pick him or her. Okay, so would you mind? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the card. And the only thing you need to do is tell me when to stop, okay? Stop. Okay, so now, take this card, do not look at this, hold it down, okay? And would you mind? Okay. Okay, good. Now, hold it. Don't look at it yet. Okay. Would you mind? Okay. So now, wow, too slow. Okay. Here. All right. So, third and final question. What is the probability of someone in this room guessing all this card correct? You don't need to give me the number, but at least give me the formula. Okay? What's that? No one? It's too hard? Someone? 1/52 times 1/51 times 1/52.
50 because you pick out the card, right? So you reduce one, so 1 over 51 times 1 over 50, so 1 over 52 times 1 over 51 times 1 over 50, right? So it's 132,600. And what if I tell you it is Jack of Spades, 8 of Heart, and Ace of Diamond? Now you can look. Don't show it to me, show it to them. Is it correct? Now you can call me AI magician. All right? Give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you. So, I know why. I know why they give it to me, a deck of cards and a pack of dice. Because AI fundamentally is probability and statistics. Of course, with some matrix manipulation, linear algebra, calculus, sometimes even a professional like you may be confused. Not to mention for a kid. I live in Washington, D.C., and with a few hours driving, I can go to Hershey Park. If you don't know Hershey Park, it's like a Disneyland with rides and a lot of chocolate and candy. And one of the rides that my son liked the most is called Wildcat. And because it's popular, that's why there is a long line. And then when we wait in the line, he suddenly asked me a question. Dad, what are you doing at work? Well, at work, I collect multiple data sets from different data sources, and then I get rid of the null value before I do the feature engineering. Then usually I will do a multi-layer neural network. In order to reduce the error, I will use the gradient descent. Hold on. Do you really think I explained to my 7-year-old son that way? Of course not. Not only a 7-year-old doesn't know or doesn't have the background to understand what I'm talking about. But I don't want my son to think, my dad is crazy. I asked him a simple question, and then he sounds like answering me in English, but I have no clue of what he's talking about. I better not ask him anything anymore. So, I use another way to explain to him what is AI. Hey, remember when we teach your younger sister when she was a baby, to recognize what is an apple? We show her, here is an apple. And then when we teach her what is a pen, we show her, here is a pen. We keep on repeating, here is an apple, here's a pen. Then sooner or later, she will recognize this red round thing is called apple. And this blue pointy thing is called a pen. All right? This is called supervised learning. It maps the input to the output by giving the computer many examples so that the computer can learn about it. And if we apply this to medical, now the baby is the computer. The parents or the big brother are the doctors. Then the pen or the apple, they are the medical image with cancer cell or without cancer cell. By the doctor keep on telling the machine now knows and learns what is a cancer cell image. That is a supervised learning. And of course, besides supervised learning, I also teach him like unsupervised learning or reinforcement neural learning. So those are very fundamental in AI in order to prepare him for the next industrial revolution. And you should see that industrial revolution has already happened in the past few decades. And each revolution leads to some democratization. First, the Industrial Revolution democratized production so that we can be free up for the physical labor. And built on top of that, we have Computer Revolution. Computer Revolution democratized calculation to free us up for the mental effort. And next one, built on top of that, is the Internet Revolution to democratize information so that we can access data much easier. And built on top of that is the mobile revolution to democratize communication so that we can now talk to anyone in the world anytime we want. And now we are undergoing AI revolution to democratize knowledge. So every one of us now is a PhD. When I received the topic from the organizer, asked me, "Hey Cupid, can you talk about the opportunities of AI in cancer management for low-resource countries?" I said, "Yes, I have a lot to say." First of all, AI can use in the early detection. In the AI screening tool, if we can allow the AI to look at the mammogram, we can then shorten the time for detecting or screening whether a person may have a cancer. And let's say in the improving accuracy, when we improve AI so that the AI can understand pathology, then this is another usage for the AI to be imported or injected in the healthcare. Then let's say a patient really got sick and diagnosed with cancer. We can use AI to create a treatment plan so that the radio dosage can be added in the planning very quick and no delay in the treatment plan design. Not only for the doctor, the healthcare administrator can also get the benefit of the AI by understanding or predicting what kind of chemotherapy drugs are going to be used or some consumable, when is it going to be out of stock, so that we can improve the overall operational efficiency and decrease the stock out, like the consumable stock out. So those are very good, and I am so proud of myself that I can come up with those examples until I asked ChatGPT, and it gives me the very similar list. To be honest, it gives me even more than I thought. So why are you all sitting here to listen to a guy flying from United States for 30 hours to listen about something that you can use ChatGPT in 30 seconds to get the answer? Why? That makes no sense. If you think about AI, it has two groups of users. The first group is use AI, and the second group is not using AI. The reason why you're sitting here, I assume you are using AI, or at least you are planning to use AI. But even though there are two types of you here, some of you use AI output as is, and the other one use it as a tool to help you or to facilitate your workload. And if you know or if you heard about this prophet, it's about give a man a fish and you will feed him a day. Teach a man to fish and you will feed him the lifetime. So today, I am not going to give you a fish, which you can do it anyways in ChatGPT within 30 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how to fish the right way, so that we can understand more the basics and also some rules of success. Once you know that, hopefully it will feed you for a lifetime. So the very first thing you need to understand is data is the foundation of AI. No data, no AI, because data can be used to train a model. And when we have a model, then the model can be used to improve the app. What's the purpose? What's the purpose of the app? Is to empower a user. When a user is empowered, then it will use the app more and produce more data. And I call it ideal data flywheel. However, the current AI methodology may not be perfect. For example, we collect all the data in one centralized location. And by the time we do that, we immediately breach the data privacy. And data is also fire. What do I mean? Assuming that, imagine that I have a torch here, and I'm going to pass the fire on my torch to you. By the time you receive my fire and I walk out of this room, you can keep passing my fire to someone else without my knowledge and without my approval. Data is the same. Unlike tangible product, which you can rent and then get it back, yes, there will be depreciation of this tangible product, let's say a car, but it's still within a reasonable percentage. But the moment that you share your data to someone, the value of that data is immediately depreciated almost to zero because data is fire. Not only like that, data is the foundation and AI use the data to train the model. However, you know what you know and you don't know what you don't. AI is the same. LLM, ChatGPT, Gemini, they're so powerful, but they train on publicly available data. There are a lot of other data that are proprietary, and AI hasn't even seen it yet. So the full power of AI is not even yet to be unleashed. Take a look at this picture. What do you see? If you see this pattern is moving, you are not alone, but you are hallucinated. This is a static picture. It's not moving. It's your hallucination. I said you are not alone because AI also hallucinates. How many rocks shall I eat? At least one rock, at least one small rock per day, with the reason, with the background. Why? That kind of hallucination, someone will say, don't worry, Cupid, we can put some guardrail to make sure that it's okay, but how many guardrails can you put? And on the other hand, the more guardrail you put, you defeat the purpose of generative AI. And let's say you can really put the right amount of the guardrail to protect this model. When should you ask the question? When I have the problem, I ask the question, but would that be too late? When you ask the problem, when you have the problem and then you ask the question, this kind of reactive questioning is already too late sometimes. So those are only the drawback for AI. How about healthcare? That's what we are concerning about, right? So a few years ago, I got diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. I think that's the reason why I'm so hyper every time, but that's another story. Hyperthyroidism compared to cancer is nothing. But still, when I am asked by my primary physician to go to different places like blood work, like specialists, like CT scan, all those kind of things, you know what happened? They asked me to fill out a form. 90% of the information I have already given somewhere else. Why? Because of data silo. And let's say a researcher, she has a very brilliant idea of cure hyperthyroidism. And she asked me, hey, Cupid, can I use your data? I said, yes. But the problem is, because my data is not on me, it's on somewhere else. So when she tried to get those data, she may even need to have some hurdle to go through because the hospital doesn't allow her to do that. That kind of information blockage is another problem for our current healthcare system. And a month later, I feel like I am so tired. to a point that I think I really need to go back to see the doctor. And then she told me, you know what, Cupid? I over-prescribe your prescription. So now you have hypothyroidism. So I know this reactively after I experience all those kind of symptoms. That's the reactive care that we have today. Not to mention, our record, our healthcare record is used mostly for diagnostics, not for prevention. And if we put all these things together to the ideal flywheel that we learned before, data is siloed and also information blockage. So we don't have enough and complete data. No data, no good model, no good apps, and user will not use that at least to the fullest. And so this flywheel doesn't fly. And for the app itself, because it's only focused on diagnostic, not really for prevention, that's also not the ideal case. And the user will be able to get the care only reactively. So the whole healthcare flywheel is not really that ideal. But how can we fix it? What if, instead of all the fragmented data, we can bring all the data in so that we have a holistic data? And now, because of all the IoT, including your smartwatch, including your cell phone, we can also incorporate this kind of IoT data in this holistic data set. And if the researcher now, she wants my data, I have the say, I have the authority to say, yes, let's use it. But let's say, if I am really concerned my data privacy, I can still give her to train on my data without exposing my data. That is something called federated learning. That means instead of collecting all the data in one centralized repository, as we mentioned before, we push out the model to where the data is located. And the model is trained right there. And after the training, only the improved model will send back. So the researcher can collect all the data and aggregate the finalized model. In the whole process, there is no one single bit of data being leaked out. That is the federated learning. And if we put this back to the ideal data flywheel, see what happened. So the data now can train, but privately, for the data to provide a precise model for the user. And because of that, the model can adaptively and provide a smarter app for the user. And this smarter app proactively empower a cognizant users. A cognizant user will use the app more and generate more data, especially with the IoT. The data will continuously produce to produce more enhanced data. So this is the actual flywheel that we want. And don't forget, the user here can be an individual like you and me, or it can be also an organization, hospital, or insurance company, or government agency. They will also enjoy the benefit of this future healthcare flywheel. It is possible by this technology called Federator. Using Federator, we are not only allow AI to train on publicly available data, but also proprietary data that will explode the possibility of leveraging AI. Now, AI can collaboratively train the model, and the prediction is personalized. Federated learning respects the data ownership and preserve the data privacy. Lastly, with the IoT, real-time data can come into the system, and we can also provide proactive alert to the users. And this everything is possible through Federator. If you pull up your phone right now and Google this, I guarantee you will find nothing, because I just make up this word myself based on my vision, and this is the second time I share this vision publicly in this kind of scenario, in this kind of conference. So let's take it a step back. 2021, April 22nd. I got a call from my dad. He told me that my mom got a stroke and being admitted to the hospital. And they are in Asia, they're in Macau. I live in Washington, D.C., as I mentioned it to you. In the pandemic lockdown, you know what happened. If you travel, you will be quarantined for 2 to 4 weeks one way, and coming back here, it's also another 2 to 4 weeks. It is unfortunate. But fortunately, our co-founders, Ferdinand, he is a stroke specialist. So I call him and say, hey, Ferdinand, can you help me? And he said, sure, send me your mom information and all the record, and I will take a look. Hey, Dad. Yeah, Ferdinand said it's okay. You just need to send him all the information and healthcare record, and he will help us to review and provide his opinion if there is anything. Okay? What? What fax number? Fax medical record in English for him to review? How can he do that? What? What, $10? $10 what? $10 per page? Are you kidding me? Can you please tell them? Getting a healthcare record for patient is the basic patient's right.
Please calm down.
Are they crazy?
About this talk. Your heart rate has risen to a dangerous level based on your age and family history. Try to stop and take 10 deep breaths.
Because everything is connected. The system now knows my calendar that I am giving an AI talk in Bangladesh. And because of my smartwatch, it knows my heartbeat right now. And because of the GPS, it knows that I am talking on this stage, but not running on a treadmill in a gym. And because of my healthcare record, it knows my age and my family history. Everything put together make this possible. And so, you are saying this, Cupid, you are going to build a platform connecting all the patients, doctors, researchers, and all kinds of healthcare organizations together to enable data sharing, and the machine learning model can train privately. The training model will be deployed to the user so that they can get a personalized advice proactively with no matter whenever you are in this world. Is this exactly what you are trying to suggest? You don't look like you're suggesting you're building a healthcare system. It sounds like you're describing the Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. By the way, it's going to be released May 2025. It is hard. So that's why it's not a cancer moonshot, but it is healthcare mass shot. Is it difficult? Yes, it is difficult. If not, someone has already done that. But is that feasible? With the growth of the data that we have, especially through the IoT, with the mature of AI that we have today, and with the rising of federated learning, there is no better time than now to start this initiative. So, every revolution leads to some democratization. Federator built on top of the other previous revolution, democratize wisdom, so that users can receive proactively and personalized advice at the right time in the right place. I know by looking at your face, some of you may have this one single question in their mind. So what? Good for you, Cupid. Then you invent this kind of federator, which you present this in June at DC in the Global Health Summit. But I remember that time you don't have the A and now you add an A here. But what's the big deal? Federator is a vision. It's the ultimate goal that a healthcare system is supposed to be. With this direction, we can then now marching towards that, because we can see that AI is very hot right now, but it still is the beginning of this whole journey. We can see a lot of possibility, a lot of potential in AI. So let me fulfill my promise to you earlier in this talk. I said I will give you some basic background, which you have it, hopefully. Now I give you 4 rules, and then we will conclude the section for today so that you know how to fish. Rule number 1, use AI as the starting point, but never use it to cross your finish line. Remember, regarding to AI, it's either you use it or you don't use it. So for those who don't use it, they may say, using AI is cheating. Those people are standing in a very high ethical standard. But remember, 30 years ago, when Google just came, people said, using Google is cheating. You should go to the library and flip through all the books and encyclopedia and newspaper to find the research. You are cheating. Now, if you are not using Google to do the research and go to library, what people are telling you? You're stupid. Now, with AI, if you are thinking that is cheating just because you use AI as is, without even think whether the information provided to you is correct or not. Just like when you Google, you are not going to just get the very top search result and assume that is the right fact, the true fact, right? AI is the same. If you get the result from the AI, what are you going to do? You need to think about whether this is true or not. But I don't have that knowledge. Isn't it the whole point? The whole point for this conference is bridging the gap by collaboration. If you don't know, you collaborate. You ask someone who knows. That's the main theme of this conference. I hope after these few days, you at least learn this point. Second rule, be agile to adapt new AI technology for your specific situation. Do not try to fit a square peg in a round hole. What does that mean? Yes, LLM is very hot right now and everyone is talking about that. So for a low resource country, let us also adopt LLM. But have you thought about that? LLM require a lot of processing power to create and to use it. For low resource country, if you just blindly follow what other people are doing without thinking about this, then you may fall into this trap. How about small language model, SLM? Small language model is a pruned version of LLM, which can be specialized in some areas. So for example, I can put SLM on a small device, and I can bring this small device in a rural area to maybe do some primary screening. Without internet connection, it still works because everything is now inside that device. Versus LLM, you have to have a very stable internet connection because you cannot host the whole LLM in one single device. You have to rely on the cloud and the server. somewhere. And with LLM, you can also improve the patient's education and communication. How about building a static small chatbot which has all kinds of cancer-related frequently asked questions about symptom diagnosis and simple treatment plan, so that you can deploy these SLM apps to the patients. And because of the simplicity of SLM, you can translate that into different languages easier to meet the local requirement. Rule number 3, tailor-made using others' success as the basics. So, again, this is another variation of collaboration. Do not reinvent the wheel again by yourself. If someone has already done something, train the LLM. For example, you can put a rack on top of that so that you can have your own version of what has already been trained before. And if you put the right rack on top of that, not only you get the right context of what you have in your local country or different areas, you can also make sure that the data or the answer that you provide back through this model will be up to date. Finally, rule number 4. Humans should be in the center of the loop. Always think about why use AI. It is not a toy. It must provide some benefit for the user. We should always think from a human perspective. What is this user want or require? That's one aspect. And if we really put human in the loop, we should not always talk about machine learning, which is very important in the whole AI process, no doubt. But just like a successful education system, you have learning, you also have teaching. What is machine teaching? It is when you design a system, we should design that the system provide you a feedback. There should be a human here to provide a feedback, to teach the system back so that we know it is right or not. And by keep teaching this machine will become smarter and smarter. So, this topic, opportunities of AI in cancer management for low-resource countries. I think the better name for that is the opportunities of AI in cancer management for high-potential countries. What we are doing right now, we have AI, and in order to close the gap, it's much easier than before. And we have a lot more potential to springboard ahead than many years ago. So now, you may have one final question for me is, Cupid, did you really teach your kid AI as what you said? Instead of I answer you this question, tell me what is AI?
Artificial intelligence.
What is it exactly?
Artificial, it's supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning.
What exactly is supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning?
Supervised learning is when you bring something to the computer and the computer remembers it. Unsupervised learning is when you tell the computer to do something and you don't tell him instructions. Reinforcement learning is when the computer does something right and you give him a point, and when the computer does something wrong and you take away.
Yeah, good job.
It is true. I did not lie. I really teach him what is AI when we are lining up in Hershey Park. And in fact, I try to continue this conversation and even convert some of my lecture notes into a book called Planify AI. Because I really think technology should not hard, should be fun. Everyone should understand what is AI in an easy way, in a plain English or plain language. So I just got a call from my publisher. This book, as of last night, is on pre-order now. So if you really want to see how the other AI concept is I am talking about, this book may give you even more boost for that. So it's not if and when AI will come. AI is here already today. So the real question should ask is how? How will you and me and our next generation be impact and be prepared for this next revolution? Few hours later, I'm going to fly back home and conclude my very first Bangladesh trip. I hope this afternoon I share enough for you so that you can fish in this AI ocean. This is my farewell gift to you all. Thank you very much.
So now you can understand why this AI guy is here. You can see what's the Cupid magic. So may I request Professor M.A. Haisa to come over and hand over the crest to the great speaker, Cupid Chan. Yeah, so can you come over here? Yeah. So come over here. Come on, bhai. Professor Shariful Alam, sir. Yeah.
So let me share one thing. When he finished and going there, I thought he has not finished, he has something to say. Then after a few minutes, I realized it was really finished.
Yeah, it's already concluded.
Yeah, I was not sure. Maybe something else was coming up because he was looking at the laptop. So I think some AI is coming up. So it is very difficult to trust these people. What they are doing.
No, thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Right, thank you.
So just one question. What was the trick of the card magic? Is it magic or AI?
How about I keep it for a secret?
Okay.
And when you come, when Federica is here, I'm going to reveal the secret.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so finally it's done. It's a little bit tired because I actually woke up at 2:30 a.m. in the morning for these past few days. Maybe it's the time difference, but I'm very glad that it turns out pretty good. And I hope that like all the audience here will enjoy the talk and learn something here. And I especially want to thank someone holding the camera right now and the director here to help me on recording this very memorable event. Thank you very much.